Hysteria by Ramya Pandian. Nobody asks daughters how they feel about motherhood, which is strange, since isn't it usually daughters who become mothers? But then, nobody asks a uterus if it knows how to spell hysterectomy. Hystera, the womb, the disturbance at its core, the churn in source from whence all life began. Hysteria, exclusive only to women, of anguish and pain and tears and unreasonable rage, of wails too raucous for men's ears, of resistance at every stage. I looked at the uterus they took from my mother, streaked with red, soft and tiny, smaller than my fist. My fists, my knees, my hair, my eyeballs, even my own uterus came out of this little thing, now encased in a glass jar, as the doctor's tired eyes waited for me to get used to it. I stared at the removed uterus and ovaries. They looked like a particularly tender piece of meat. I remember the last time I was in a room with a piece of anatomy floating in a glass jar. My tonsils. I refused to look at them. I couldn't explain why. I only knew that I couldn't comprehend the horror of having a piece of me sliced out and asked to look at it like some kind of trophy. Isn't that how motherhood is? I wouldn't know. This uterus inside me has never carried life. The glass catches the light as the doctor's hand wobbles. I came from this? It feels like such a loss. The first home I've ever had. It was once part of me, and I have been its only occupant. But I've no time to dwell on that. I wonder if anybody dies of hysterectomy. A woman's body is defined as a baby-making machine. What happens when the part of you that creates life is taken away? We know what happens to defunct old mills, especially after the machinery has been taken away. Is that my fate? And if it is, who will cry for a uterus that was never used? Will anybody miss me? Is a mother still a mother without her womb? And does a daughter still exist outside of the cycle of motherhood? It's the primal cry of every feminist, every woman, asking if all I am is of service to you. What happens when I can no longer serve? Stop. No tears. Grin and bear it. How many periods does it take to ruin a man's life? Only one. Because it means he didn't get born. Yes, that was a period joke. Yes, you're allowed to laugh. I read about the dangers of hysterectomy. The internet says its side effects include blood clots, pain, mood swings, hot flashes, heavy bleeding. Wait, that sounds an awful lot like a period. A rest of lifetime period in Technicolor, as regular periods become sepia memories, I guess. I call this poem Hysteria because, like hysterectomy, it comes from the Latin word hystera, womb, from whence all life begins. And as they take away the spliced out uterus, the bloodied ovaries, I realize the single life that it gave birth to has been aborted too. I watched the doctor walk away with a glass jar containing a part of me that I have never been able to face. Hysteria.